welcome to our fourth and final review of the evening. Yeah, this is what happens when you have a backlog. Like,
Will it
right.
ever end? Just
Actually, it will, because this is the last one for the week. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm not sure why you're complaining. I'm the one who had to play all four games.
I know.
True.
It's like, that's what happens when you get the single code. Like, granted, some of the single codes I pass to the team here, but yeah, I get the bulk of them.
hmm
Anyway, so this game, we're not exactly sure how to pronounce this. Ghostory. It's not Ghost Story because they smashed it into one word. Like the S and T are bridging, so it's
Yeah, it could be Ghost Story, but it's not Ghost Story, certainly.
yeah. I'm like, presumably this was done for copyright reasons because there's no way this poor literacy is cool.
I don't know. I think it's a fairly harmless portmanteau, but it is probably mostly to be distinctive.
Right. Anyway, Ghost Story is a 2D platformer designed around switches, lifts, and other weights, that kind of thing. And the added gimmick is, well, the story is you are a little kid who is cursed. You go into the forest to get a mushroom. You fall down a cave. You've got to go through the cave. The cave has a shit ton of very contrived puzzles.
That's a little different than the story of Undertale.
Yeah, this is an Undertale.
I know. I'm just joking about the premise of you're a kid who fell down a hole.
It's a fairly common refrain in video games. I've fallen down a lot of holes into caves and had to get out of them.
hmm
Hansel and Gretel rated 7 out of 10 needs more holes.
I don't recall a lot of holes in Hansel and Gretel.
No, but they spent a long time wandering the woods, so if they didn't find a hole, obviously there weren't enough holes.
Okay, then.
That made my brain hurt. God damn it.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So your job is to get through the increasingly complex puzzles in order to escape the cave and escape the curse. And you do that by hitting switches, getting keys, pushing armories for some reason. Like, they're the weights of the game. Like, you've got pressure plates. You got to put them on the pressure plates. And yeah, a large part of certain level puzzles is getting these weights onto the pressure plate properly. I'm like, overall, the puzzle design is pretty fair and nothing overly complicated. Further worlds will have other complications, like the second set of stages have swarms of flies that will. The way the ghosting mechanic works is when you have the mushroom in your backpack. The backpack is basically the thing that you have to get to the end of each stage. You can move freely, but the backpack stays in one place. And yes, that factors into puzzles pretty greatly. Like a pretty common puzzle is put the backpack on the platform and manipulate the switch in various fashions. Yeah. Anyway, these flies, they will block the backpack, necessitating more thought processes into getting past said flies. Once again, I got about stage 17 in this game. I think that's about halfway through. I'm not exactly sure how many stages there are here. Once again, Thanksgiving weekend, just absolutely murder on productivity. So, but I certainly felt like I played enough to get a handle on the game, and it's almost a great game. I say almost because, well, there was one tiny little thing that held it back, and in fact infuriated me quite constantly, and that were the controls. So,
That's a big one, though.
yeah, well, here's the thing. For the most part, the controls are fairly perfunctory. They're fairly solid, except for the fact that they have a profound lack of polish. What I mean is, when I hold down the D-pad or the analog stick, or because I had to test to make sure, or the keypad here, like, and it was this game. I tried other games, like it didn't do this in like overclocked or anything. My character would keep going, like even when I disapplied pressure to the D-pad.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that might not seem like it would sometimes usually would just go on for a few seconds. The one time it my character just kept walking until I pressed another direction. Now you might not think that's a big problem on the surface, but a lot of when you get into the later stages, where you are, especially with the backpack, kind of matters, because more than a few times I was on a platform and my character kept going, fell off, and I'd have to do the entire sequence over again. And yeah, that's something I can't ignore. That's clearly a lack of refinement.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that's not.
I mean, that sounds like an outright glitch. So
yeah, it's like, I'm not sure what's causing that exactly, and unfortunately, I can't have any of my peers here to corroborate because we only got the one code. Like, though in this case, this was a code grabbed from the WooVit site, so they only offer the one code. It's one of those. It came with the territory. But I can only report on my own experiences, and this was definitely my experience with the game. And had that not been here, this would have been a very easy recommendation. In fact, one of the, a really, like I said, it was almost a great game here. With that flaw in place, it's just merely adequate. And it pains me to say because, like everything else here lined up pretty good. Like it's a, in terms of design, mechanics, and, overall controls, it's fine. But that bug there just sours the experience. And it is unfortunate. Anyway, the game is running $7. No DLC to speak of. And I do not think there's going to be DLC, not even a soundtrack, because this game has actually been out for about a year now. So it's pretty safe to say that there's, what you see is what you're going to get. At $7, I can mildly recommend it, but beware of the unrefined controls.
Yeah, it's like the player actually keeps walking. It's not something like Red Dead where they take an extra few steps because they're over animated, right?
No, it's not a realism. It's not an over animated issue. It's a glitch. And it's a big enough glitch where it led to some profound aggravation, because I'm like, I know the game's not supposed to be doing that. This isn't part of the challenge. This is just, a checksum failure or something like that. Not necessarily suggesting that's the problem, but it's like something somewhere went wrong and was never fixed.
Right, it seems like a quality control issue.
Yeah. And that is unfortunately one of the downsides to indie gaming. It's like, we are talking, like, I believe this was done by one guy, or at the very least it was like a student team, something like that. Right. So, it's like it's got an award here for best student project. So, yeah, this game having that kind of bug in it is not a surprise at all to me. But yeah, arbitrary number rating here about 6.5 out of 10. You know, it'd be an 8 if they ever fix that glitch.
Mm-hmm. Or if it's just something up with your computer and somebody else tries it and the glitch isn't
has
there.
the game ever had any updates, or?
It's hard to tell with Steam, honestly. So they give you the most current version, and if there is an update, it's hard to find the update log.
Yeah, it's like I'm not, you know, it's like not really seeing an update now.
And who knows, we might be the first person who've noticed this glitch, and they may patch it out when we send them the review.
I'm like, well, here's the thing. Like, this review actually isn't going to get sent. The way Move It works is they'll, like, the site will find this review, and it will log it in to their database. So it's kind of up on it's up to the developer to find this review. That's how that works. Yeah. Well, anyway, that'll about do it for this installment of the.
Actually, did we go over the price on this one?
Yes, it's $7. You know,
okay.
You know, it's like you know.
Looks like it was on sale during Halloween, but that's over probably.
Yeah, it's not on sale now, but you know, it's like once again, if they fix the bug, yeah, this game is worth even up to $7. You know.
Hell, looking at the trailer and stuff, I'd probably pay 10 for it.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't know if this is a me issue or a game issue. I don't know what the issue is. You know, you know, that's PC gaming in a nutshell. Like, you know, that's always why it's more handy to have more than one person. But, you know, like I said, you know, sometimes we get codes from websites that give you codes. It's something we don't really have time to explain, and, you know, that's really some behind the curtain stuff anyway. You know, with that in mind, yeah, this will conclude the Fragments of Silicon reviews. We hope you enjoyed it. The week ahead. Coming up this week, so okay, so we do have an interview scheduled for Tuesday, November 27. We are slated to speak to Marco Pendara of 2 Bits Kid. They have confirmed, and we're going to be talking about their upcoming procedurally generated RPG roguelike. Stop me if you've heard this story before. Like, Aeon of Sands: The Trail, of which they have sent me an advance copy. I haven't gotten around to playing it because, well, I don't know if you've noticed how many reviews we did today and, you know, the week it is, but there's your answer. You know, hopefully I can get to it by Tuesday. Thing is, I may have jury duty this week. I'm like,
oh boy. Yeah.
I'm like, I made a call on Friday. I don't have jury duty on Monday. They told me that they have trials scheduled for later on this week. So I will not know until Monday evening if we have a show on Tuesday. You know, that's just how it works with jury duty. I'm on call. You know, so I don't know if I'm going in. I can't even update the website until tomorrow evening. So, you know, there will be an update on either social media or the website, whether or not if we go ahead or if we have to delay that. I'm like, you know, once again, don't really want to do that. Everything's in place. But if I have to go in for jury duty, I have to go in for jury duty. And without me, there's not really going to be an interview. I mean, so we'll have an update on that within 24 hours. Hopefully, we'll be able to do it. And coming up on Wednesday, November 28th, John Pickett of Manga Gamer is slated to return. Pinged him last week about it. I haven't heard back. But once again, Thanksgiving weekend. So I haven't been expecting to hear back from him until like tomorrow. It's like presuming we are having him on the program on Wednesday. We're probably going to be talking about their recent adult releases. That's going to be a fine capstone for the whole, for that whole storyline that's been going on with Manga Gamer all year. Like, and if you need refreshing, just go listen to the many, many interviews we've done with John this past year. We do a lot of interviews with him. He's on about every 2 months.
Yep.
So that's the plan for this week. And, keep an eye out on Twitter or, our main website. If it doesn't get updated, then we don't have a show on Tuesday. If I put an announcement that, the announcement will be on Twitter. So until then, I wish you good gaming.